Virgo, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Esoteric Empire. Okay, so Virgo, I'm very excited to do this reading. I'm not sure why, because I don't know what it's going to be about yet, but I'm excited. I'm going to start off with an oracle message. So we're going to see what the overall message is pertaining to, and then we're going to go into these tarot cards here. They're huge. We're going to go into these so we can see the details or the events that have taken place. You know what I'm trying to say. Let's just hop into it, okay? All right, Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Oh, Virgo, here we go. Oh, Virgo. Okay, it's still going to be a good reading, but I wanted it to be a more positive message. But maybe this is going to be more of a spiritual situation where you get to hear what you need to hear instead of what's going on around you, because you can already see what's going on around you. So we have trapped in fear and conflict and defeat. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. All right, so let's talk about this. I want to break this down. I want to be very sensitive, but I also want to be very direct, okay? So I'm not going to coddle your feelings, but I will be very direct about what needs to be said, okay? So both of these cards are dealing with your mentality, okay? So when we have conflict and defeat, we have trapped in fear, we already know what type of party that this is. All right, Virgo, we've been down this road plenty of times. And you know, the thing that kind of makes me feel sad about this is because Virgos usually don't say when they're feeling a certain type of way. When they're going through something dark, they usually don't speak on it. They just continue to keep going like nothing is wrong. And that's very dangerous. Spiritually, that's very dangerous. Energetically, that's very dangerous. Emotionally, that's very dangerous. So it's almost as if you feel like you can't breathe. Maybe not physically, but like you feel like every step you make is wrong, or you feel like maybe you have a lot of weight in your life that you don't know what to do with. But not just you don't know what to do with it, but you also don't feel courageous or confident enough to change a lot of the things that are happening for you right now. All right. Ooh, all right. So I can kind of already see where this message is heading. So you have the Four of Pentacles in your past, which means that this was your element. You're doing the things that you're good at. So you're paying attention to all the details. You're getting things in order. You are trying to organize everything so that you can have expansion come into your life in whatever way that you want that to be. But what the Four of Pentacles also talks about is about being quiet or reserved. So I feel like while practically it looks like everything is in order, you're just busy, you're working on what you need to work on a spiritual level or emotionally speaking, you're not expressing yourself. You're being very, very closed off. And that may be normal for you, but the reason why this is all happening now is because you were in this phase for too long. So I think that you being expressive is something that you're being forced to do now, or you're being forced to see what the issue is. This Judgment card is where you are at now. Now, Judgment is a beautiful card. It's lovely. It basically means it's time for you to make a choice. It basically means that there is some sort of reckoning that's going to happen within your life. So we're going to get a little bit more energy on this because honestly, the Judgment card is never a small moment. It's always a big situation in your life. So this has to be very important. Let's see, Judgment. Virgo. Here we go. Seven of Cups. So you have a lot of choices. You have a lot of options. I feel as though with this energy of trying to choose something, it's because you're supposed to be choosing what direction or which option is going to give you the most peace within yourself. That what option is going to give you the freedom that you're looking for. There's also an upgrade emotionally and spiritually that I think you're looking for. Maybe even on a physical level, like maybe you want to feel more beautiful or something like that. It's all these little things, you know, whether it's family, friends, career, whatever it is in your life. It's like you have so many things that you're trying to pay attention to. And you also know you have so many options of which way you can go. Because like I said, with this Four of Pentacles, you had expansion. You were preparing for expansion in your life. Now you're at the moment where it's time to make that decision, and it's time for you to be able to expand, and you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. You're like at a crossroads or something like that. Now the good news is the Seven of Cups means that you can either choose something for yourself and really elevate or progress or evolve, upgrade. But the flip side of that is that you just are kind of in a daze, in an illusion, like you're not going to be real to what you want. So we don't want that to happen. But honestly, I see that could happen with the trapped in fear, conflict, and defeat. Because it's almost as if you feel like you don't deserve to expand. And maybe you're not thinking that mentally, but maybe your actions are showing that, or you're putting up with things that are not allowing you to expand to your greatest capacity. And Virgo, we all go through this. Like, this is a very common situation that I'm seeing here. It's not just you. But the issue with it, Virgo, is because when this happens to you, it literally only happens to you in your world. Like, you don't let people in very often when it comes to stuff like this, because you're used to making the choices. You're used to making the decisions. So when it comes to you in your life, who do you turn to talk to about this type of stuff? Who do you, express yourself to? Who do you converse with? You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is what I'm seeing. You're in this like limbo phase where you have all these options, but because of what you're really going through, you're not able to make a decision yet. Moving forward, we do have the Prince of Wands here, which means that you will make a decision. Good news and bad news. When you make a decision, I want you to be very careful, because the Prince of Wands does deal with kind of making sporadic, spontaneous movement, which is not bad, but I want you to be very careful, because the Seven of Cups can mean that you're also making movements that are not grounded. So you want to make sure that you're being true to yourself. Like I said, we don't want to just be in an illusioned cloud of smoke. You want to be really grounded in what decisions you're making. Now the Prince of Wands, like I said, it's about movement, it's about action, solutions for yourself is what that card embodies. And that's where you're headed. But I think you're being advised to take your time. The Judgment card, like I said, it's always a big situation that you're making a judgment on or a decision. And so with the Seven of Cups, you may be tempted to take the easy route by just picking anything. You have all these options, and so you're like, okay, let me just pick anything. But I think what Spirit wants you to do is to really look at the things that you are afraid of. Whether that's your insecurities, whether it's the things that you don't necessarily want to happen or you're afraid to happen. Look at those fears and see if they're really real. See if they're real, or if it's just something that you've been telling yourself so that you don't expand. Because I think you're kind of talking yourself out of expansion. I think you're settling. That's what the cards are kind of leading me to believe. So don't pick your first option, is the advice. Really think about where things could go, what you could do, and really sit with that energy and envision it for yourself. See it for yourself, and then make the decision on what you're going to do. Because like I said, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit for what you're able to do or what you're capable of doing. And that could be for a multitude of reasons. Like, I can't tell you why you're doing that, but I can tell you that is what you're doing. And we need you to try to reward yourself in a way that doesn't have to deal with materials. Reward yourself in a way where you actually can see a bigger, broader path for yourself. And then reward yourself by actually going towards that goal. Because I know you have the goals, but it's almost like you keep trying to lower the bar for yourself. And you don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that. That is a choice, but you don't have to do that. Like I said, this Prince of Wands, when it comes to your career or your creative endeavors or anything that you're getting done on the day-to-day basis, be free with what that can look like for you, with whatever choice or goal that you're trying to go towards. And that could be hard for some of you because you're coming out of this very reserved energy with the Four of Pentacles. But the choice is yours, like I said, but I think you should really entertain the thought of really trying to expand what you've been used to at this time. Does that make sense? All right, Virgo. Oh, also, don't be trapped in fear, obviously. The trapped in fear card is about being stuck in a mind loop. And you don't have to do that. You can literally escape that mental bondage that you've been putting yourself in and do it. But you have to believe it first. Nobody else can tell you but you. And that's just how life goes anyways. But yeah, Virgo, I don't want to say this was a bad reading, but I think it's just saying that you're capable of a lot more than you're not, but you're not giving yourself credit for that. So just, you know, really think about the things you want to do. And even if you feel like it's a little far-fetched, just entertain the thought for a little bit and just see, okay, if I did want to do that, how would I get to that point? You know what I'm saying? Like just play with the thought a little bit more instead of just settling for whatever's the first thought that you have of what you're capable of. Because I think that you're cutting yourself or undermining yourself. And I don't even think you realize that you're doing it. All right, Virgo. So beautiful message of strength, of, is it competence? There's a lot of power that you're not tapping into. There's a lot of potential that you can tap into. So I think that's the message for you. But you have to choose that for yourself. Nobody else can do that but you, okay? So here's your sign, but you have to do the work, okay? And you're good at doing the work, but if you're gonna do it, you might as well, you know, work smarter, not harder, okay? So Virgo, that's your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that when I post for your sign or when I go live, I will be going back live soon, I promise y'all. You'll be able to be notified whenever I actually do those things, okay? I love y'all so much, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I'll see you in the next one.